I promised you to show you the dark nude fiber gel, and that's the nail sculpted with it. So it's a nice fresh nail with beautiful curve, and I will show you how to do it on those 4 nails as well. So I have just removed the extensions which I had on for ages, like really ages, and obviously I need all prep to be done. So I'm just going to push back my cuticles. So like give them, you can see how bad they are. And also I've got here the part which is kind of always growing on my nail. So I always need to clean this place really well. So let's do a bit of cuticle work first. And then using the spike bead, we are going to clean it. So especially this parts here. So I'm just really nicely cleaning it. All my nail plate needs to be nice. And then put it into the reverse. There was actually loads. I've got actually lots like on my nail plate if I don't do my nails regularly. But what I thought, I'm going to show you how to sculpt the set on those nails, because usually I do it, I think 1 or 2 nails. So this time I thought I'm going to show you more. So I'm just cleaning. Okay, and then I can just file away some sticking out parts. But just the biggest mess. Like I'm usually tend to tidy up the cuticles second time after I have done the filing. Like I find it, I don't like to do it overly too much on the cuticles because it just makes them grow even more. So I'm usually doing just a little bit. And maybe a bit on the nail folds. So that's my cuticles done. Then take a file, and I need to just shape them and prep the nail, but you can see there is still a tiny bit of product left. My extremely high hyponicum, so I cannot file this nail any shorter. Nice scratches. Don't file the nails too short. You want to have something to be able to hook your form underneath. And you can see how many times I have banged with them, this one there. I have been really abusing my hands and my nails the last few weeks. Okay, that's them all nice and matte. So I'm just cleaning the dust away, taking the blue scrub, dehydrating the nail plate, nice and squeaky clean. And now we can start applying the forms. So that's the sculpting forms I'm using. Put the sticker on the back, and then with the scissors I'm going to trim my forms. My nails has a really wide side walls, so I really need to cut those forms. So I'm just cutting, and actually keeping those pieces for, like, you know, sometimes taking the base gel or like mixing some gels is actually a great tip for you guys as well. And then trimming a little bit on the sides as well. So this form goes underneath of the pinky. Squeeze it nice and well. Close it. And now I can apply it in. Sorry guys, I have no cameraman, so I'm struggling. Okay, beautiful pinch with your form and then close it. Next one. So pinky is the easiest nail. Now we are going to struggle because I've got extremely high sidewalls on this nail, and that's the nail which is the most difficult to pinch. So that's my ring finger nail. And I do really need to cut it decently to be able to squeeze the form underneath. Okay, pre-pinch in between the fingers. Close the form. And then it goes on. You can see it, those side walls, so you can even push them down first. I wish they stay like this. And then the form goes on. Okay, nice and straight, and then close it. So you can see the tabs are open because I want my forms to come nice and straight. Okay, next one. Doing the forms on yourself, huh? And it is unusual, like, for me to show you actually all 4 nails. So I thought it will be a nice change. Okay, cut it in there and in there. So usually cut the size of your nail, but you need to remember nail goes this way. So always take that into the consideration, because if you would just measure this size, you will be too short, okay? Squeeze in between the fingers. My hands are so clean, so the forms are sticking everywhere. And then slide it in. Nice and straight. Even could go higher. There we are. That's even better. And then the index finger. So here we've got slightly different problem, which is our hyponychium. I've got little hyponychium on this finger as well. I should cut it actually a little bit, then the form would fit in even better. So cutted it out. You don't have to like cut it for all the clients. You know, it's depending of the hands and fingers they've got. Mine has those side walls which are so high that's without of cutting it, it will be a very white nail. So I don't like those kind of look. Now hyponychium, so we have cutted this. We need to loosen the form so we can pinch it really nice, and then we need to cut out either a V triangle or just like a rounded shape for hyponychium. My hyponychium is decent, so I'm always cutting out pretty decent size. Before I close the form, I'm just measuring it. Okay, that should be okay. Pre-pinch it. Slide it in. It's not okay. Just a bit wider hyponychium. Now it should be, I hope. No, it's not. See, my favorite finger to apply. I think that's why I so often show you guys on this finger, because that finger is a nightmare. Okay, that sits better. So nice and straight. Especially with this finger, I even put it kind of up because it tends to grow really strongly down. Close it. Okay, so that's all forms apply in. And now, just because we have moved them properly, I'm just checking how they feel. All good, all good. Even squeezing them a bit more. Say, especially on the pinky. There we are. Because we have touched the nails when we was doing the form application, I'm using the extra nail prep, which is a nail dehydrator as well. And then universal air bond. Okay, so universal air bond. If you've got client which has really problematic nails, you could use the universal air bond twice. And then the fiber and the dark nude. So I just shape my brush, clean it, and then we are going to apply the gel. Let me get something to stabilize my hand. Awesome. So, nice and thin layer. And this gel is different to the light rose. So the light rose is more see-through and it has different consistency. This one is more solid, I would say. So it behaves slightly different when you use it, and it doesn't have this transparency. Okay, sorry. And then extend the nail. So this is the place where is the most tricky place, and that's where I always apply more product, and then I drag the product down the way. Like nice and thin. I don't want my extensions to be too long. We've got still lots of housework to do. Like lots. Okay, so we are just going to the letter L. Making sure I've got enough product on the sides. And to be honest, you're better off like putting a slightly more product on the side because it's so thin that you are not going to have a lot to file anyway. And then we are going to give it a flash cure. Flash cure is a 30-second, not maybe even flash cure, it's a 30 seconds cure so we can pinch the nail. Or you could do it a flash cure, and actually we are going to do the flash cure so I can apply product on another nail. Okay, so maybe a few more seconds, that's plenty. And now I can do exactly the same on this one. So nice and thin. And you really want to blend it at the lunula place, like I like when the lunula is still visible. Okay, so that's more blended. And then we can apply more product in. Going to the sides. When the gap is so small, we can easily apply the product with no trouble at all in there. It's not going to run. This is a sculpting gel. So you can see this one doesn't self-level as much. So you've got more time to play with it. Okay, once you're happy, freeze it. So we've got another 10 seconds cure, which means our index finger have been cured 20 seconds already. Same on this one. And because I've got such a small amount of the product, like I'm not scared I'm going to touch or flood the cuticles. Then pick up a scoop for the extension. to the letter L and just distribute the product. If you're really fussy, you could clean your brush and you could you could do a nice and tidy line at the free edge and on the sides. I'm never bothered too much because it takes me longer to clean my brush and to clean this side than touch it with the file. But in general, we should shape our nails with the product application rather than with the file. Okay, another 10 seconds cure, and that's mean the next time when I'm going to put this hand inside the lamp, I have to use the pinching clamp to get a nice C-curve. Okay. So pinky, oh my goodness, this is so tricky. Don't get stuck together. So pick up the scoop. Work on the sides. And the other side. Then pinching clamp. So the pinching clamp goes on this nail. We already can squeeze it because it was cured already 30 seconds. Then 10 seconds and we can put the pinching clamp on the other nail. So I just need to freeze the pinky. Awesome, so the pinky is freezed and I'm picking up another pinching clamp, apply it on the middle finger. Do not put the pinching clamps into the nails which are really weak, and we have applied the form, like the form was so nicely squeezed, and that we would get nice and slim looking nails anyway without all pinching. I just like to take it to the extreme. Okay, then the next one. And the pinching never should be sore. Like if it's sore, there's something wrong. Okay, couple seconds longer. And now the pinching clamp needs to go into this nail, and here I can start building my apex. So, sorry guys. So nice and thin layer, like cover everything really well. Check any missing places, because this is time when you've got only a little bit of product, so you've got lots of control over it. Okay, now pick up the scoop of the product, like a really decent scoop, and now we are going to build up the apex. So start very close to the cuticle and try to release the ball you've got. Okay, once it sits in there, try to dragging it down. So one side, other side, one side, other side. Make sure you do have the same pressure all the way. Like if you press too hard in one place, you get a hole in there. If you don't press enough hard, you've got too much product. So the pressure, and look how flat my brush is, guys. Okay, reach the end, take a brush and just touch up the places you feel like are not nice. And this way we have built up the nail. Give it a cure. Okay, so now I have to cure it a little bit longer. And then I will be able to pinch it from underneath as well. But that's when we want to take it to the extremely pinch it liquor. Okay, I'm peeling this one off. And doing the same. I usually don't take the form too soon, in case if there is like any gapping or the place I need to add it, I still got the form. So I've got plenty product there, not enough here. And if I wouldn't have the form, it could be maybe more difficult to add into those missing places. Now picking up the scoop of the product again and building up my apex. This is actually the most comfy position, is when the nail is a little bit down, because then the gravity helps you and you can build it up, I don't know, quicker, I would say. Okay, make sure it's nice size apex and then start dragging the product down. I'm not going completely to the sides. We have lots of product on the sides, lots of product on the sides of the free edge. I'm really more into the middle. Clean my brush. And now I can just touch up those places. So you can see it, this gel behaves slightly different. It does self-level as well, but I think the light rose self-level more. Okay, once we have created this nail, give it a cure. And I think it's a matter of getting used to the product as well, because when I just take off the pinching clamps from the rest of the nails, because I could start feeling them, so that means they was a little bit too long. Okay, so just take off the pinching clamps then. But what I want you to say is we kind of need to get used to the products, so we know how they behave, how much they self-level, also depending on the temperatures we are working with and the client's hands. This one is actually really beautiful. Look how the light reflects on it. Not much filing on this one to do. Depending on the client's hand temperatures as well, like we sometimes need to work much faster and the product is behaving different. So once you find your perfect product, perfect temperatures, sorry, you will get the desired results much quicker. Okay, I'm picking up another scoop of the product. Like, make sure it's on the one side of the brush. And now let's apply it on. So release this product. Once you've got released, look how flat my brush is. I'm not working only with the tip, but I'm working with the tip and the middle of my brush in a pretty flat position. I'm helping, because my finger is down, so I'm just helping this gel to reach the free edge. Okay, clean it. And then just help it self-level and add a bit more on the sides. One side. Okay, same on the other side. Okay, this one isn't as perfect, but cook it. Because if I would start trying to fix this nail, I could actually make a bigger mess. It could start running to the cuticles, I could make another hole. So sometimes it's better to straight to the lamp, cook it, and then if necessary, you could also touch it up a third time. And I'm always checking the nails in case they need it like the third time. Now, this one is really annoying So let me check. No, I'm missing some bits. Ah, working on yourself. Sorry, guys. Have no choice. Have to go the harder way. Or we could cut the form from underneath as well. I'm actually show you that as well. So making sure I've got plenty product. The form is really secure, but I've got the place which I'm not happy with, so I have just trimmed the form, and now I can bend my finger like this. It's almost like an finger yoga. Okay, apex. I hope I don't cover it in the camera. No, this is no use. You guys not going to see anything. Cameraman, I miss you. So he's doing a flooring right now in a house, and we are desperate for more videos, guys, for you, just so we can keep up with the promised 3 videos a week at least. And my nails was desperated, so I'm trying to do some videos on my own. Okay, this one is start self-leveling a little bit. Nice. Touch it up and then give it a cook. So once I freeze it, I will be able to apply the pinching clamp from underneath as well. I'm not going to close my pot with the product. Just again, I show you the difference. So the light rose, oh come on, open it with the one hand. There we are. So the light rose, that's the light rose, that's the dark nude. That's the light rose, no, dark nude, oh gosh, light rose, dark nude. No, you have to do it this way. So this one is here, applied on the nail, so it is having this kind of transparency a little bit. And then this one is here in matte, and then how it looks when it's shiny. Okay, so you can see the difference when is on the nails. Now I can check any places, and they're not too bad. I'm maybe missing a drop of the product in there, so I'm just going to touch it up now. So even if I'm adding a little product in a one place, I'm not adding it on the one place. I'm smoothing out the entire nail, so I've got those slidey surface. And now I have just filled up the gap. That will be okay. That will be okay. This one I will have lots of filing on. Perfect. Now I'm just going to apply also, once I freeze them, apply the pinching clamps from underneath and remove the forms, and then I show you the shaping, and then this set is finished. So you had the chance to see it, me like applying the forms on all the nails and the products on all the nails, and you know kind of what order I do them as well. Okay, we can peel the forms, and now we can apply the pinching clamp from underneath. Okay, so look at this pinch. Wow. I don't need to pinch them anymore, to be honest. If the pinching clamps are sliding, you can give them a couple scratches with your nail file. They're so nicely pinched. I love them. They're ugly from the top, but they're so beautiful from underneath. Like so nice. I don't like my the old nails, like the longer the natural nail is underneath, the more pinching, like the curve you're losing. because the natural nails are just doing their own way. So I'm just going to cure those nails and then I can show you how I'm shaping them. So just clean this mess. Okay, couple seconds longer. Cool, so I'm just pulling off the pinching clamps, and yeah, I love this one the most because it's wider nail and we made it look so slim. Okay, we are going to clean them and we are going to shape them, okay? So remove the inhibition layer, like really properly, and then start shaping them. So first of all, one side, V-shape. Look, you can see the line. Other side, V-shape, and you can see the line, okay? And ideally, if you do the same movement on all the nails, you will have such a beautiful consistency, like all the nails will be exactly the same. Because you remember the move you have done and you know how much to file. Okay, and this is the move which changed a lot in the shape of the nail. Okay, now we are going to file the free edge. Nice and straight, nice and straight. But I don't file the free edge to the final length yet. So I'm only shortening it a little bit. Okay. Great. So the next movement is my lower arches. So you can file underneath to make sure they are kind of both going equally. Okay, so just file them, and you can see this one is dropping more. So I'm just really smoothing those lower arches because we want them to be both equal. You can also check them by like rolling your finger like this. Well, there we are, and then you will see if they both the same. Okay, so once we've got sorted those parts, I'm going to file around the cuticle area because we want to blend everything around the cuticle area. So blend it nice. Okay, this part is done. Then clean it with your brush so you see what is going on in there. So clean the dust off, and they already look not bad. Like, I mean, they're not perfect, they're far away from perfect. So the next step is, because we need to file from the top, so I need to see how even they are. So first of all, I'm checking the length, and this one is a little bit too long, so I can shorten it. I need to go for a bit shorter nails just because we've got so much work to do. So shortening it, perfect. Now I can shorten this a lot. And this way I know, like, I can see how I should file on the top as well now. So concentrate on the slant, get it more coffin. So I want to, ideally, I don't like when the lower arches are too low, so I tend to overfile my nails. That's my style, and I'm sorry guys if they are some perfectionists when it comes to the shape. Yes, I do overfile my lower arches because I don't like them to be too low. Okay, so we've got this sorted. Measure it. And because we have shortened it, it become more tapered square rather than the coffin. So I'm just cutting out a bit on those lower arches. Great, now the next move is to smooth it everything out on the top. So that's the movement I love the most, because you kind of get a really nice and even surface through the entire nail. Okay, so I had not enough product here, too much there, and you can see it, I've got still gap there, but you can see that the pressure of the file is kind of going evenly. So I'm not jumping from place to place, I'm filing the entire nail, so it's going to be really nice and smooth. And this is a time when you can also check your hairline. Okay, so we want the hairline to be really nice and smooth. And thin, like I don't like it to be too thick. Yeah, so that's basically the filing done. The rest I'm going to do it with the buffer. So take a buffer and just buff it, and we've got beautiful nail. And obviously the longer you buff it, the nicer it is going to be, because the buffer removes lots of bulk of the product as well, and just perfect the shaping. Yeah, and then she touch it again with the file, just in there. Okay, so we've got one. Now smooth out quickly this one. Check those hairline. And this one is my favorite one from all of them. So nice, this one. Okay, next one. So just file it nice.
Hiya.
Hi.
How are we?
Yeah, so just filing this one. Going to taper it a little bit more. And file it again from the top. I show you guys also one more move, which I quite like it as well. So sometimes I would check them also from underneath, like to see the thickness of the side walls, and you could go and just touch it up. That's when you extremely fussy, like I'm talking extremely fussy. Just a wee tip. So like you can see on this one, I've got more. So you could just go and touch it up from this side. Okay, smooth it out. and then just buff them all. So as I say, I like the middle one just because you can see it. We didn't have to file it as much as the other nails. My middle one is the nicest. Anyway, smooth them out, and I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. I'm not going to decorate those nails now. I really wanted to show you the full process, like when I'm swapping the pinching clamps, like and how I'm applying it, the gel, and how the dark nude looks as well. So final touches. You can also check the client view as well, like how they look from the client view, how they look from your view. And I can see this one is squint. So just a last touch up, and that's us finished. So clean the dust. Okay, and this is how this set looks in matte compared to the light rose. So very nice and natural looking, and I think it will look perfect for a French as well. I'm not going to do it. I need to have another tutorial for you guys. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And for those one of you who have waited right to the end, I'm going to do a French on the one nail only. I'm not going to cure it, but I will just do it as a wee bonus. You have survived it right to the end. So I'm just going to quickly show you paint on French gel. And now I'm just going to paint the French angular brush. And because I had some pink in it, ideally, if you clean it with the product, like with the gel, you get the nicer results, like you have no products, you are not damaging your brushes, and you can see how nicely the product is coming off. So make sure it's nice and flat. Okay. So you just clean it with the product. You can do it with the clear as well, but I just want to have the same kind of consistency of the product I'm picking up. So that's the angular brush. And that's the one for the gel painting. And then I will just go and paint some French. So we could do a V-shape French, which is very easy for a coffin shape nails, and I think it looks really nice. So we could just perfect that and have a V-shape, but we can also do a normal French. And then what I'm doing is like I'm checking the corners, so this corner is a bit lower. Okay. And I love this color for a French. Like I think because it has the better coverage, you don't have those transparency like you do with the light rose. So it is more solid, more kind of classic look, I would say. Oh gosh, that's not the bonus application. So what I'm doing is I'm just pushing the product where I wanted it to be. Then check the client view and I can see how ugly it is. I mean, it's not ugly, it's not straight. This is when you're really fussy. Yeah, that's will do. So that's how I would paint the French on top of it. Then just before I cure it, I would clean this part where I have made the mess. And I think this cover gel looks absolutely great for a French look. Then we could just paint couple squiggles or a gems on top of it. But that's not what I wanted to have on my nails. I don't know why I don't wear much of the French. I like it, but I'm wearing my nails for too long time, and then doing too much stuff with my hands. So we are just going to clean them and apply the top coat, so I can show you how the gel looks with the top coat. But the French was just a big bonus, because I feel like this gel will look absolutely amazing for a French, or even just the way it is. Like, so nothing on the nails, just paint like an... Gosh, and now I'm going to show you guys a full palette of different things. So we could squeeze out a paint and just paint like a couple of the one-stroke flowers in there. And that will look as a pretty design as well, and then just top coat it. Should I do it? If I don't do it now, no, I will leave it for the next video. I will just buff them and show you the design. So anyway, we're just applying the top coat, so you can see it, how they look shiny. And I can always just buff them and do a couple different designs. I've got a plain base now on those nails, so it looks really, really nice once the top coat is on it. And you don't really need to use even a gel polish on top of them. Like, I think, like, if someone would want those kind of nudie color, that's it. I wouldn't do, I would just use the cover gel, and I feel like they look fantastic. I really like my nails with the cover gel, and I could wear them all year round. Another idea of what you could do is just apply some like glamour pigment, or you could apply the Aurora pigment over it, and that will look absolutely fantastic as well. So once you've got the base like this one, you've got endless possibilities on doing a set of the nails. And I love like how the fresh set looks so nice, like clean and sharp compared to the infills. Awesome. So yeah, that's the set which we have created today. So that's so nice. I'm sending you glittery hacks, and bye for now.